Hi there everybody, Richard Fulmer here, and welcome to another Richard's Rock Rambles, which today comes from my stoep, or porch if you like. Seeing as it's such a beautiful day here in Cape Town, I thought, what the hell, change of scenery. So recently, I've got a really nice gift in the post from a good friend of mine who also has a YouTube channel. The guy's name is John Bellamy. And he said he was going to send me 3 CDs. Well, actually, I didn't know what he was sending, whether it was LPs or CDs. Turns out it was 3 CDs, and boy, what a pleasure. The great thing about these 3 CDs is it's groups that I haven't had before, didn't know about, and I think that's the wonderful thing with music. You know, you're always discovering new stuff. And the 3 that he sent me are all in the prog genre, so progressive rock. But different types of progressive rock. And you know, progressive rock can go into all sorts of directions. It's the one genre of rock music where anything goes, I think. And that's certainly the case with these 3 bands. So there's one band from Sweden, one from Norway, and one from the UK. So there's a nice mix-up of countries as well. And yeah, so that's what we're going to chat about today. My 3 gifts from Mr. John Bellamy. I really appreciate it, John. Thank you so much, and I've really enjoyed listening to these. But it's the kind of music, I think he said it in one of his chats with me, is that you've got to give it more time. You've got to really get into these albums. You know, it's not just one listen. It's definitely headphone music. You're going to get lost in it. So I'm definitely going to be giving these another couple of listens. I've only given these 1 listen each. But I'm the kind of guy that I kind of know if I like something straight off the bat or not. And these have all pushed the right buttons, shall we say. So let's get stuck in. So the first band is the band from Sweden. And they go by the name of Beardfish. And this is one of their albums. I'm not too sure how many they've done. This is the album. That's a cool cover there. And the album is called Destined Solitaire from Beardfish. And so open it up here. So some interesting stuff here on the cover. There's the CD and there's the guys. They look quite young here, but this album I think goes back a while. Let's just get a date here. 2019. No, sorry, 2009. So this is quite old now. So they might have aged a bit since that particular photograph. Let's see if there's anything else I could show you. There we go, interesting cover art. Let's see if there's anything else in the booklet. That's just a catalogue. Here we go. It's just the lyrics. Really interesting stuff, this. And you know, I've always said that, there we go, that's the same as the cover. You see there's a photograph of the band here. No, it's just the lyrics. I've always said that if you had to take Gentle Giant, a fantastic English band which aren't around anymore, and you had to sort of compare their style, what is the closest that you come to Gentle Giant, because they were so unique? And I always said Frank Zappa, because he was totally off the charts and unique. And what these guys have done, Beardfish, is they sort of married the two. So you've got elements of Frank Zappa's music, especially in the vocal styles, and Gentle Giant, you know, going off into all different directions. I must say, on all 3 of these albums, and particularly on this one, the musicianship is top class. These guys certainly know their ways around their instruments. So let me just tell you, and if I pronounce these names wrong, please forgive me. Richard Gangfly Schublom is on vocals, keyboards, left speaker, guitar, accordion, and percussion. That's another thing I picked up on here. The accordion. Not too many bands that are brave enough to use that. I think Jethro Tull have used it in their music as well. David Zackerson, right speaker, guitar, background vocals and percussion. Magnus Ostgren, drums and percussion. And Robert Hansen, bass and background vocals. So those are the 4 guys in the band. I'm not sure if they have changed the lineup or not. I did notice in the first track though, it kind of threw me a bit. And it's the one and only time on the album that they use it. Growling vocals, you know, like you get with death metal bands. And I thought, okay, because I'm not a fan of that. Let me say straight away, anything with growling in it, I tend to switch off. But it's only that one part, which is quite strange for me. It's sort of, why would you do that? But anyway, the rest of the track was great, as is the rest of the album. Awaken the Sleeping, Destined Solitaire, the title track, Until You Comply, including Entropy. In Real Life There Is No Algebra. That is a very good track too. Where the Rain Comes In, At Home, Watching Movies, Coup de Grace, Abigail's Questions, and The Stuff That Dreams Are Made Of. That's the final track. So that's Beardfish from Sweden. Excellent progressive rock. And like I've said before, as I started this video, I need to give these all another listen. I can't really go much, in depth of what's going on in the album. Oh, let me just fish a fly out of my coffee. Yes, that's what happens when you video outside. Bit of protein added to my coffee. Anyway, there we go. Beardfish. Do yourselves a favor, check this band out. Interesting stuff. Then we get to a band that, if this had been released in 1973, it would have been right up there with one of the top prog albums of the time. This is the long lost Yes album. And I had heard of these guys before. On one of the other channels on YouTube, I think I came across them. The band are from Norway and they're called Wobbler. W-O-B-B-L-E-R. And this album is called Rights at Dawn. This album I gave 10 out of 10. I said to John, this is amazing. There are 7 tracks. Quite lengthy, some of them 10 minutes, 9 minutes, 7, 12. Brilliant stuff. Yeah, this is like Yes, classic era Yes, Going for the One. Trying to think what else, maybe bits of Relayer. Brilliant stuff. And what I like about these guys is they all use traditional analog instruments. So they use what's that thing called, the mellotron, which you hear a lot in moody blues music. You can hear it in here as well. Great stuff. I think there's a nice photograph of the band. You can tell that's a prog band. Shades of Jethro Tull, circa 1977 there. I'm trying to think what else. It's just the lyrics. Let me see if I can get their names. This is very small writing. Morten Andres Eriksson, guitar. It tells you Stratocaster, Telecaster, Gibson SG. Lars Frederick Frosley, keyboards. Martin Nordrum, Kneppen, drums. Peanut! Andreas Wintergrens, vocals. Hey, I'm busy with the video here, do you mind? Have those say, of course. Yeah, so this is a great album, and this is probably my top one of the 3. But I mean, I'll need to listen to the others again as well, so that might change. But like I said, classic era, yes, bits of Genesis thrown in, and they're not derivative. It's not like a Yes copy band. They do have their own sound, and the vocals are fantastic. I think the vocalist has changed in this band. I'm not too sure, because this album came out. Well, it's also 2009, so it's a while back. So there might be some lineup changes as well. But this one I'm really chuffed with, and I think if I do play these again, I'll grab this one first. The band is called Wobbler, and this one is Rights at Dawn. Fantastic. If you enjoy classic 70s era prog, can't go wrong with these guys. And there are 7 tracks: Lucid, Beltane, In Orbit, This Past Presence, A Fairy's Play, The River, and Lucid Dreams. Those are the tracks on here. Fantastic stuff. And then finally, a band from the UK, and I actually listened to this last night. Purely instrumental, and there are only 5 tracks. Some of them are quite long. But what I like about this album, plus the others, I think the Wobbler comes in at around 40 odd minutes. it's not too long, because sometimes I find with progressive rock, you know, you have these 70, 80-minute albums, and honestly, after 60 minutes, if it doesn't grab me, really grab me, my attention starts to waver. For me, I think this is around the 32-minute mark, which is perfect. The Wobblers are perfect length, and I think the Beardfish might be a little longer, but it's still interesting. You know, sometimes these bands get a little bit up their own arseholes. You know, you should know when to cut, when to, or just make a track a little shorter. Don't have a million lead solos or whatever. But that's just my personal feeling. You know, you might like the 80-minute opuses that are out there. I like this cover. It's obviously a painting. It's a tree and what have you, and that's the back. So this band is called Gurenfo. I hope I've said that correctly. And the album is Some of Erda, and I've just read a couple of reviews on some of the prog sites, and they give this really good reviews. That's the CD there. Take out the booklet. Very small photographs, I'm not sure how much you're going to see there. There's pictures of the guys in the studio. So we have James Burns. These surnames are easy to say because they're English. Electric guitars, acoustic guitars. Ollie Snell, electric guitars, acoustic guitars, lap steel guitar. Robin G. Breeze, bass, piano, Hammond, organ, Gem Sprinter, and synthesizer. And Joe Burns, drums, percussion, piano, and also on synthesizer. He doesn't have a very large kit there by the looks of things, but he certainly knows his way around it. So what is this like? Well, this is instrumental, like I may have mentioned, and it's fusion mixed with traditional prog. And I even heard on the first track, I heard a little bit of that Canterbury scene sound coming through. So there's all sorts in here, nice mixture. And it's interesting, and you know, there are no vocals, but you don't miss the vocals because the music keeps your attention. It doesn't waver. There are some additional musicians here, by the way. Rob Mill on flute and clarinet. There is some really nice flute on this album. David Boyce recorder. That's another instrument you don't often see. I think Gentle Giant used to play recorders. Callum McKemmy on violin and Dan Ball on vibraphone. And this came out 2019, so this is quite recent. Here we go. The band is Gurenfo, Some of Erda. Great instrumental prog mixed with a bit of jazz fusion, and there's even sometimes there's nice acoustic bits, small little pieces that they throw in, which is also great. So there we go. That's the last one of the 3 CDs that I received from Mr. John Bellamy. And what I'm going to do, I don't know if I mentioned, but down below in the description, I'm going to give you John's link to his YouTube site, which is well worth visiting. He's part of the vinyl community, so it gives it away. It's mostly vinyl. Really interesting videos, so check him out. Really appreciate it, John. Thank you so much for these 3 CDs. And like I said, I'll be definitely diving into these, a deeper dive, and give them another listen. As I said, great day here in Cape Town. I must take the dog for a walk because she's full of energy, as you could hear. She needs to work off some of that energy. And I might just have another cup of coffee. And yeah, look after yourselves, take it easy. Any comments down below, please. If you enjoyed the video, give me a thumbs up, that helps the channel. And if you haven't done so yet, please subscribe. Take it easy, guys, and enjoy the day. Cheers.